Welcome back to Health Daily. I'm your host, Dr. J. Today, we will talk about why your slow weight loss may be actually beneficial, especially over quick weight loss. But first, like we always do, let's talk about what's in the news. Let's talk about what's in Google Trends. Remember to like, subscribe, share this video with somebody that you know that can use it, friends or family. I will be sharing this with my friends and family. Let's talk about first, Amplify. So Amplify is in the news. What is Amplify? And let's go to an article here about McKesson. So this article states, McKesson Amplify empowers state pharmacy associations nationwide with advocacy funding. So my pharmacists, comment below, what do you think about this? So let's go over the main points. So what is McKesson Amplify? It's a strategic initiative by McKesson to support critical community pharmacy advocacy efforts nationwide. Okay, why? What's the goals? Funding centers around supporting independent community pharmacy, elevating the pharmacy profession, and also sustaining essential services and patient care. So this comes from what they want to do with this Amplify program. So community involvement, tell me down below, make sure you comment below if you're a pharmacist or if you're part of McKesson, tell me a little bit more about this program. It looks like the community involvement is something that's big. So community pharmacists and their teams are encouraged to join and engage with their state pharmacy associations, likely to benefit from this McKesson Amplify program. So what else is in the news? Let's go travel here. Let's travel back. So human metapneumovirus is still in the news. Let's not update that right now. I don't think there's necessarily anything to update. Basically, what do we know? What do we know about China's human metapneumovirus cases? And then New York Times just dropped an article, but there's nothing new right now that I can tell. They're talking more about the symptoms, the cough, the nasal congestion, those things. And so flu-like symptoms, basically. Next is Sandusky. Sandusky's in the news because they're building a new EMS station in a part of their town. Al Roker's back in the news. And if you're with me, if you've been with us for the last week, you saw that we talked about Al Roker. I will drop the link below where we actually talked about his motivation, his exercise tips, what he did to lose weight, and what his dad and his father told him. RSV is back in the news, along with human metapneumovirus, right? We talked about the quademic, which is next. The quademic is the RSV, the human metapneumovirus, the COVID-19, and also the influenza, the flu virus. Next is Manuel, and I'm probably butcher this name here, Patarroyo. So let's take a look at one of these articles about Manuel. So he is a Colombian scientist. Let me scroll up to his face a little bit. He is the Colombian scientist who developed the first synthetic vaccine against malaria, but the initial promise was diluted because of controversy and the limited efficacy. So initially, he studied this vaccine. It had about 75% efficacy, but then when they studied it, I think in the field or took it through the prelim studies, then it became only about a little less than 5% effective. And I think this was geared towards some of the African children. But anyway, even though it wasn't as effective as he originally thought, he encouraged a whole set and generation of the next Colombian scientists. And also he was trying to develop something that we had to use later during COVID, which is the kind of global attack force for things like the COVID-19 and the mRNA virus. And so that's an interesting article. You can translate it in English and Spanish if you want to, but let's talk now about what we came to talk about is why your slow weight loss may be actually beneficial. So again, remember to like and subscribe to this video. This is not direct medical advice. This is general advice, my opinion on what I think about some of these topics. But so slow weight loss is considered more beneficial than rapid weight loss because it's more likely to result in sustainable long-term results. By preserving muscle mass, maintaining healthy metabolism, and allowing for better development of eating habits, which reduce the risk of regaining lost weight once the diet has stopped. So there's 5 things that we'll point out here. What are the 5 things that we want to talk more about with this topic? All right, number 1, muscle preservation. Muscle preservation is very important for your metabolism and also your sustained weight loss to be able to keep your weight off. When you lose weight too quickly, your body starts to break down muscle tissue along with fat, which can lower your metabolic rate. Let's take a look at this video really quickly. This is an older video from Healthline, but I think it's still needed today. So as you can see there, basically it's talking about exactly what we just mentioned as far as the reason why you want to keep muscle and preserve your muscle mass as much as possible to increase and keep your metabolism steady, especially your resting metabolism. So your metabolic rate is number two. A slow and steady weight loss approach helps to maintain your resting metabolic rate, meaning your body continues to burn calories at a consistent level. All right. One tip here is at the gym. When you're at the gym, doing a cardio activity like walking uphill on a treadmill, don't hold on to the rails. That's a tip. I see people do this all the time. They're holding on to the rails. They're walking uphill, looking like they're walking into heaven because they have the incline so high. Lower the incline to where you can actually not hold on to the rails and then test yourself. Comment below if you've done this or if you hold the rails and tell me why you hold the rails. But try to do this. Try not to hold the rails, lower the incline and see the efficacy of your workouts after about a month and see what happens and then comment below. So the third thing, so we talked about muscle preservation. We also talked about metabolic rate. The third thing that we'll talk about is habit formation. If you lose weight really rapidly, you haven't formed a healthy habit. What you formed is this yo-yo habit. So if you form this habit, losing weight gradually will give you more time to develop and integrate healthy eating and exercise habits into your lifestyle. So you go from what's classically known as a diet to what's classically known as lifestyle. And this change will help you maintain the the weight loss over time and preserve your muscles. The fourth is skin elasticity. I hear this all the time in clinic. People come to my clinic and they complain about they've had this surgery for weight loss, or maybe they're losing weight really rapidly because they're doing this diet, this fad diet, and then they're complaining about their skin not being tight and they're having excess skin and they're asking me to send them to plastic surgery so they can get it taken care of. If you lose weight at a more appropriate speed and not yo-yo, then your skin elasticity is better. When you lose weight slowly, your skin has time to adjust and it shrinks with the fat loss, minimizing the appearance of loose skin. Not to say that you won't have loose skin, but it can minimize that appearance. The fifth and final thing, of course, psychological benefits. There is psychological benefits with this. And let me go here to this study. So there was a study that was conducted at Drexel University. The researchers found that participants who weight fluctuated up and down in the first weeks and months of the weight loss program ended up losing less weight in the long run. So this is a study that was already done that you can show that shows you if you fluctuated up and down, you lost weight really rapidly, then you likely were going to lose less weight than someone who was slow and steady. So that the tortoise and the hare story that we all learned when we were younger. And if you didn't learn that when you were younger, really quickly, tortoise and the hare had a race. The rabbit, the hare, which is a rabbit, took off and looked back at the turtle and said, "Hey, that turtle's going pretty slow. I think I'm gonna hang out and just wait for the turtle to get up here, and then I'll take off again." Then the turtle, the tortoise, is basically just walking slow, ends up beating the hare, which is the rabbit, because the rabbit got so tired and bored, it just went to sleep. Thought the turtle would never beat it, but it did. So long story short, and more of the story is slow and steady, 1 to 2 pounds a week is what's recommended. If you're taking injectables like semaglutide, GLP-1s, then those are going to be a little bit higher. So you may be in that 2 to 5 pounds a week category. and you may want to consider working out and exercise. Remember, this is not direct medical advice, but something that has been shown to be beneficial while you're taking GLP-1s is exercise. That's it for today. Make sure you check out the video from yesterday, which we touched more on weight loss. And always, like this video, subscribe. I will see you tomorrow. Health Daily. I'm Dr. J. Thank you for joining me.